Welcome everyone to our Monday night course spotlight. I'm Kathy Lawson, Chief Knowledge Officer with the Great Discovery, and just so enjoy these sessions because not only do we get to hear from our great course creators, but we also get to learn something, and that's what it's all about. So tonight we have Matt DiMaio. Matt is I just love listening to Matt because I always come away feeling smarter. So that's always a good thing. So Matt, let me tell you a little bit about him. He's currently in his fifth decade of producing attention-getting results. He's dedicated himself to creating a positive, lasting difference in the lives of students of all ages. And he is a Guinness World Record certificate holder, the author of a #1 bestseller on Amazon, and recipient of YouTube's Silver Play Button Award. So Matt's the creator of the popular YouTube channel, Be Smarter, Faster. Matt teaches mental tricks, tactics, and techniques that speed up your ability to learn everything and anything easier than you ever imagined possible. These skills are currently helping millions of students internationally and have gained him an enthusiastic worldwide audience. Though these powerful mental strategies work for everyone who employ them, and they'll work for you too. And tonight he's going to talk about his course, Eliminating Procrastination and Overwhelm for Good, and maybe even one or two others of his courses. So Matt, it's all yours.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Kathy, and hello out there, everybody. This is your favorite uncle, Matt DiMaio, speaking to you from beautiful Tampa, Florida, where it is pretty warm. Kind of a rainy day today, though. So let me ask you, do you procrastinate? Do you beat yourself up for not doing all the things you know that you need to do? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Do you get stressed out? Well, if you answered yes to one or more of those questions, do not worry because you are not alone. You're in pretty darn good company. Tonight, you're going to get some really effective and easy ways to understand what's going on with procrastination, understanding why you feel overwhelmed. And in fact, when you use the ideas that I cover in my course, I can absolutely promise that you'll see a huge improvement in all your personal performance. You'll be able to finally get stuff done, and you'll be able to do it faster and easier, and you'll be able to do it with less stress and less anxiety. So you won't have that knot in your stomach. And even better, you'll begin feeling good about yourself right away. Because this is important. Once you begin to apply this stuff, these ideas begin to work really fast. So let me ask you a question. And if you can, just mark your answer in the chat. Why do you suppose you procrastinate? Why do you do it? You know you're not supposed to. You know you feel bad about it when you do. And Dr. Kathy, could I ask you to take a look at some of the answers so that I don't get too distracted as we're going along here?
Absolutely.
But think about it, really. Now, some of you may think that it's a function of being lazy, that it's laziness.
Because Tim would rather fish. Tim would rather fish.
Well, that's a fishy answer.
Mine is because I have too much to do. My list is unrealistic.
Too much to do. But why does that make you procrastinate? Now, I'm not asking you directly, but I want you to think about it. It's all of this important stuff in your life, and you feel bad. You beat yourself up for not doing it. And you would think that, the payoff of getting it done would be enough. And that the feeling of being on your own back about it, and being on your own case about it, that would be enough to get you to take action. And yet, back in school, you would wait to the last minute to do that term paper. Maybe you're a single person and you've been hesitating to ask that hottie out that you've had your eye on, that you've been crushing on. Maybe it's some important work or paperwork that you've got to do, or stuff about your finances or your taxes. Let me tell you what the answer is. And this is a big deal because when you understand what it is that is primarily causing the problem, when you understand the cause, that's about half of the solution. The cause of most procrastination, almost all of it, is that in your imagination, you are predicting a negative outcome. You're imagining that it's not going to go well. Now, if I'm allowed to read your thoughts, some of you are saying, well, that may or may not be true, and you may argue with me on it. But I want you to think about it from the opposite point of view for a second. Suppose, let's say we're talking about a term paper. Suppose you were expecting to blow the professor's mind with what a great term paper you wrote, or you were going to ace that upcoming exam. Some of you may be taking professional certification tests, or maybe you have kids that are in school and they're procrastinating. Imagine if they knew that they were going to ace that course, that test, no problem. Or if you've been hesitating to ask somebody out, if you knew for sure that they couldn't wait to date you too. Well, let me ask you a question. Would you hesitate then? You wouldn't, would you? You'd want to hurry up and get those great results as soon as possible. So I want you to think about that, because where you're really, kind of hanging yourself up is just in the prediction of a negative outcome for yourself. When you understand that and get your head around that, it makes the problem of procrastination look completely different. Oh, by the way, I'm going to show you an image of what my course looks like. This is going to be both in this is an audio book, and it is also now. Kathy, is that broadcasting right now? Can you see that?
Not yet. It's
You
showing.
cannot.
There it is.
Hold on. You still see it, right? Okay. Well, I originally released this on the Great Discoveries platform as an ebook. And then recently, Sandra was talking about all of the nice advantages of also doing audiobooks. So I cloned my voice and I recorded my ebook as an audiobook. And I just put it up the other day. In fact, when I told Sandra what I was doing, she put a full court press on getting my stuff published so that I'd be able to present here tonight. Now, I'm 73 years old, and here I am using voice cloning. And so I want you to understand that it's a matter of your attitude towards a lot of this stuff. This is free. This new audiobook is up as a Genius Club, and the ebook is on the free side. I also have two other courses. I'm going to briefly mention them. I'm going to show them to you now. I have a course that goes right along with this idea of overcoming procrastination and eliminating overwhelm. And that is called The Easy Way to Make Hard Decisions. And the reason that I want to kind of talk about these two things together is because a lot of times what we procrastinate about are the important decisions that we need to make. Should I take that new job? Should I move to a different city? Should I ask for that raise? Should I move to a new house? Should I refinance? And so sometimes you've got you're on the horns of a dilemma. You're not sure what to do and you don't have much confidence. Well, in this, I have both an ebook and an audiobook where I give you a very practical guide to making confident choices without second guessing yourself. And so this is available, as I said, both in an ebook and an audiobook. And one third one, and I'll get back to overcoming procrastination. And I just put this one up today, and Sandra put this one on supersonic speed to get it approved so I could promote it tonight. And that is, right now, a lot of students are taking final exams. Maybe you're not, but maybe some of your loved ones are. Maybe your children or grandchildren or nieces or nephews are taking final exams. Or maybe you're preparing for a professional certification exam. I don't know whether it's a Series 7, the Series 6, a CDL, a life insurance, real estate, MCAT, LSAT. I mean, there's dozens of these professional certification tests out there. So what I've done, and this is what my core specialty is teaching people strategies to get them to produce better results and be able to learn and absorb things faster. So here you'll get 5 incredibly powerful but surprisingly simple strategies to be able to get a higher score on the exam, and get this, without more studying and without knowing the material any better than the other students in the class. So imagine 5 things that are absolutely proven strategies that you can do to get a better score on an exam, even if you don't know the material any better than other people in the class. By the way, this is the exact type of stuff that other students that are just doing better in class than you are, I'll bet they're using these strategies themselves. Again, this is free. It's available as an ebook, and it's been up on the Great Discoveries platform for a while. I was one of the first published creators on the platform, going way back to almost 2 years ago. But now, as of today, this is also available as an audiobook. So I just want to come back and stop sharing. So it's just back to me right now. By the way, you'll see a couple of my other books here in the background. I've got an audio book and a PDF called Future Proof Your Mind. And that's all about how to stop being intimidated by all of the technology that's out there. Look, between AI, crypto, new apps, my goodness, even the instruction manual on your car, it's a little overwhelming. People have a problem that they don't really have any strategies. They have no systems to be able to learn things. And for a lot of people, it's been a long time since they've been in school. And so even the techniques that they had years ago, they've forgotten most of them, or they're incredibly rusty, or they never really had great skills to begin with. So what I do in all of my content is I aim to be very, very practical. So let's get back to overcoming procrastination here for a second, because one of the things that people have a tendency to do that's really a serious mistake, and some of you are proud of this, wait till you hear what I've got to say, and that is multitasking. Multitasking is what people have a tendency to do when they're up against deadlines, when they're up against too much to do, and they try and do a little of this and a little of that, and they're doing a bunch of stuff at the same time. Let me tell you something. Multitasking is not only not the answer, it is the exact opposite of what you should be doing in order to deal with the issue. And I understand that some of you may rebel against that idea, but allow me to see if I can prove the point to you. Let's say that you needed to have an important surgery, you needed to have an important operation. Would you want your surgeon and the other people in the medical operating room, when they're operating on you, would you want them checking their social media status, checking their stock market returns, seeing who responded to their Instagram post? Would you like that? You want them multitasking? No? Why not? Why not? Because you know that multitasking reduces your effectiveness. It reduces your ability to do an excellent job. You don't want them multitasking. You want them 100% focused on curing you, don't you? Well, if you're interested in being able to cure your problem of procrastination, What we're going to do is we're going to focus on one thing at a time. And for some of you, that's a hard thing to do because we're not used to focus anymore. Focus multiplies your brain's power without using any additional energy. Yeah, I've got a magnifying glass. I didn't expect to use this, but here it is. Remember when you were a little kid? Maybe you'd be out in the backyard with your magnifying glass and you'd burn leaves, or I know some of you would burn ants. Think about it for a second. You've got the sunlight falling in the backyard, and when you use the magnifying glass, you're able to focus the energy down to a single beam of light, so it's a little tiny dot. What happens? The result is completely different. You've got, and stay with me. Is there any more sunlight being used? There's no more sunlight than you had before you used the magnifying glass. But as soon as you use this, and as soon as you focus the energy that's there, you multiply the power, and again, without any more energy being used. So focus and doing one thing at a time and really just drilling down on that one thing makes you multiple times stronger, makes you multiple times better. Now, I got a couple of other things I want to say, but I want to just give you one last little bit because I can't teach the entire course here while we're talking. But my recommendation is that you do the simplest thing first. I know that there's books out there where the authors tell you to do the hardest thing first. Let me tell you, you don't want to do the hard thing. And you'll find every reason in the world not to do the hard thing. But the simple thing, you got a big term paper to write? Write one sentence. Make a little outline. It doesn't even need to be in order that you want to cover it. You've got to clean your room. You've got to, straighten up your office. Do one shelf. Do one surface. And what'll happen is something takes place in your brain that when you begin something simple and get through it, you say to yourself, hey, that wasn't so bad. I could do a little more. And before you know it, you're into it. Let me use exercise as an example. Do you resist going out and exercising? I do. And so, but if you can just get yourself out and go take a walk, that's it. Just a little walk. And don't walk for a half an hour. Say, I'm going to walk for 5 minutes. I'm just going to go outside and walk for 5 minutes. That 5 minutes, what happens? It turns into 10 or 15 or 20 or a half an hour. And you might even start jogging. And who knows, you might actually do a little bit of other kind of exercise, some jumping jacks or other exercises along the way. What happens is when you start with the simplest thing first, you overcome inertia. There's the laws of thermodynamics. Well, they apply to people as well. And that inertia, an object at rest tends to remain at rest. But an object in motion will continue to go in the same direction it's already going unless another force acts on it. And it'll go faster and faster with less force being applied to it. And so you'll see that in your own life. Now, I don't want to get too theoretical. I promise to keep this practical. Do the simplest thing first. Say to yourself, I'm going to do this for 5 minutes. And then see what happens. You don't have to believe me. Just try it and you'll see. All right, look, I know that we don't have an unlimited amount of time because I've got so much content that I really could talk for hours at a time and frequently do. But I want to remind you that the stuff that I've got on the Great Discovery here, I'm going to just do another share and I'm going to show you a page here. And let me know when I'm sharing this page. Kathy, can you see that page? All right. This is some of my courses. So remember I told you that at the top that I had, and sometimes in the Great Discovery presentation, you'll see the images like this one, the easy way to make hard decisions. This is one of my most popular giveaways. A lot of people love this thing. Um, but these are some of the ebooks that I've got up here. And then I've got a free course on how to triple your memory power. I've got my newest book, Future Proof Your Mind. I've got a motivational music album that is called Learning Machine. This, by the way, this is really cool. You can download these songs. Um, just trust me, it's worth listening to. If you just even go and listen to the free trailer, you'll hear samples of all the 10 songs on the album. Then my premier course, my best course, and the thing I'm known for is I have a course called How to Have an Incredible Memory. This will give you the ability to remember people's names. Some of you that have known me for a long time see that as a speaker, I can go into a room of any size, and from the stage, after meeting people before I'm called up and to do my presentation, I'll go around the room and meet everybody, and then from stage, be able to call everybody in the audience by name. Imagine being able to go to any holiday party, any barbecue, any office meeting, any training, and know everybody's name. It makes you look superhuman. The level of respect that people have for you is just something else. But you'll also be able to learn how to recall numbers and facts and details. And look, we live in a world of information overload. I give you the instruction manual on how to use it. And I've got a book. This is just an ebook. It is in writing. This one hit #1 in Amazon bestseller within a few days of it being released a couple of years ago, called Successful Online Learning. Learning stuff online is way different than sitting in a classroom. This explains to you the whole process. Anyway, here are my 3 newest audiobooks. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing. So we've covered, a lot of ground over here, and Dr. Kathy, I see that according to my chat, it looks like there's a bunch of messages in there. Um, I want to wrap up by letting you know that whatever I teach is very practical. This is not a bunch of philosophy that you go, okay, well, that it sounds good, but what do I do? How do I do it? I'm very much into step 1, do this, step 2, step 3, step 4. And I guess one of my core uh, 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 abilities is to break things down to very little steps so that it makes it easy to follow. There's nothing intimidating about it. And all of my content is in plain spoken language. I don't try to impress you with some big vocabulary. I want you to be able to internalize this stuff and get maximum use out of it right there, right then and there. Dr. Kathy, can you take a look a little bit through the chat and see if there's anything that I need to address before I open it up to general questions?
Yeah, most of them were the response to your question about why do we procrastinate. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we said totally juggling a lot and getting paralysis at times. Because I don't like that I have to do something, right?
Good one.
And then to your point, one that said perfectionism, um,
Yep.
due to a fear of failure, overwhelm, and what if, and a fear of judgment. And then just Bree saying it can't be possible that you're 73 years old. So
Yep. 1952.
yeah, so
And
that's all fair.
so yeah, I had the foresight to select good-looking ancestors.
That's always a good that's a good thing to do.
And so here's kind of where we're at this point. You know, the the information that I want you to be able to take away is that you really need to be able to do things step by step. There's an old expression, by the yard it is hard, by the inch it's a cinch. Get used to breaking big projects, big tasks down into little pieces. And if you just work on a little piece, you'll be motivated because you go, oh, I was able to do that little piece. And that makes you want to do another little piece. And that is really the key to so many different successful things. That's how I learned how to use AI and clone my voice and make AI videos and use AI to help me write my books and edit my content and be as creative as I am at my old ass age. So at this point, Dr. Kathy, do I have enough time to open it up for 5 minutes of questions?
You do. I was just going to say, let's go to questions if you're ready.
Ding, let's do it.
And thank you so much. I always, like I said, I always love to hear you talk because you do give us a lot of great practical strategies. That's why I always feel smarter when I get to hear you talk.
Well, thank you. Let me tell you, coming from you with your credentials, that is a huge compliment. Thank you very much.
I just, for me, it's like, I love learning and I love discovery, and there's just so much great knowledge. And people teach it in a way that you didn't think about it and you didn't process it that way. So it's a new perspective. And that's what you offer us all the time, is a new way of looking at things. So it's just wonderful.
That's what I endeavor to do.
Yep. All right. Who has questions or comments for Matt?
I'm getting crickets.
Yeah, they're all on overwhelm. I know.
What?
They're procrastinating, right? They're procrastinating for their questions.
I have a question actually, Matt. Just
Sure, Bree.
what's that thing that when you talk about procrastination and you said do the easiest thing first, but what is that thing you're telling your brain? Because I have to sit there and go, if I don't do it right now, I won't get it done. Like I have to, like, is there a little trick for your mind to say, just do it in the next amount of time so I can stay on top of things. So I feel like otherwise I'm like everybody wants something, and if I get overwhelmed by it sometimes. Is there like a trick for that?
Well, overwhelm is really the cause of overwhelm is just a lack of clear priorities for most people. You have too much coming at you at once, and you're trying to deal with too many things at one time. That's why multitasking is so bad. You'll find that if you just put everything aside and just work on one thing at a time, you don't feel overwhelmed because you can handle one thing. And I use what I call the 2-minute rule. Anything that you're really putting off, say to yourself, I'm going to just do it for 2 minutes. And I'm going to just work on this for 2 minutes. And then for most people, 2 minutes turns into 3 and 4 and 5. And before you know it, an hour has gone past and you got the lion's share of your work done. Did that help?
That helps a lot. And yeah, I definitely have overwhelm. But
Are you one of those people? Because I know that sometimes people talk about perfectionism. And I use this when I'm talking about myself. I do a demonstration, and some of you that are attending here tonight have seen me do this, where I stand on stage in front of a large audience, and I can recall the names of every single person that I met in my audience. And sometimes the audiences are surprisingly big. But every now and then, I'll miss a name. I'll miss a couple. And if people see me do that, it's like it spoils the illusion. It's like I'm not magic anymore. They think it's a trick. It's not a trick, it's a skill. It's kind of like learning how to ride a bicycle. Nobody's born knowing how to do it, but it ain't that tough once you have a system. When somebody shows you how and you practice a little bit, you can do it too. And so I tell people, I am not perfect. I am merely excellent. And if you have that attitude about yourself, I don't need to be perfect. Look, I don't know what your beliefs are, but perfectionism, perfect, is only relevant to God. The rest of us don't get to be perfect. We get to be excellent. And so if you understand that about yourself and you forgive yourself not being perfect and not striving for perfection, because perfectionism will stop you. If you're afraid to make mistakes, you cannot succeed at anything.
Thanks, Matt.
Failure and success are the same thing. And people don't understand that failure and success are the exact same thing. It's like hot and cold are the same thing. Love and hate are the same thing. Well, how are hot and cold the same thing? How is up and down the same thing? How is success and failure the same thing? They are measurements along a line. The opposite of success is not cold or hate or down. The opposite of up is not hot. And so success, you cannot have success without failure. You cannot not have light without dark. And so it's measurements along the line. You can't have one without the other. And if you're trying to eliminate failure, then you can't be successful. So there.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
And Joyce has her hand up. So go ahead, Joyce.
Joyce. Hey, Joyce.
Thank you, Matt. You said something happens in the brain.
Joyce, you were one of those people that was there when you saw me, remember? You were one of those
Yes.
people whose names I did remember.
Yes, yes.
And your
thank
sisters
you.
as well.
Yes. What is her name?
I don't, if she was on here, I would know her name.
Now you could see it. Yeah, you mentioned that something happens in the brain once you set yourself up to complete something. Did you not say that or mention something
I
about
did.
that?
And there is a natural urge, there is a compulsion in the way human beings are wired together to complete things that you start. We don't like having an open loop. And having an open loop, having an uncompleted task bothers us. And as a result, when you start something, even if you just vow to do it for 2 minutes, at the end of those 2 minutes, you are more than likely to keep on doing it because the task hasn't been completed, and you would prefer to continue rather than leaving an open loop.
Got it. Thank you.
Boy, all of a sudden I got on a pedestal. I'm lecturing at them.
Yeah, they said something like dopamine happens.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, dopamine it gives you that little chemical hit in your brain, that little hit of pleasure, that little chemical drop in your brain. That's why cell phones are so addictive. That's why video games are so addictive. That's why if you're a good YouTuber, your YouTube videos are addictive. You're able to give people that little drop of dopamine. But sometimes, sometimes we just have to do boring stuff. And what happens is when you begin to complete a task, that's when you get your hit of dopamine. Don't expect, I guess to wrap this idea up is, don't expect to be motivated in order to do something. That's backwards. Do something, and that will get you motivated.
Got it.
Cool, huh?
Thank you.
It's bass backwards.
All right.
Well, folks, I'm going to wrap up. Listen, this is your favorite uncle, Matt DiMaio, reminding you that everything I teach takes a bit of work and effort, but it is absolutely worth it. Always remember that the fastest way to get to the top is to get off your bottom. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much, Matt. And thanks everybody for being here. Tim, anything you want to say about upcoming events? You already did, but just in case.
Just to wrap up, guys, you should
Great job, Matt.
Go find Matt's new audiobook and grab that link and share it on social media. Get him out there. It's going to help a lot of people. I know a lot of people that are procrastinators, and I'm one of them because I haven't actually shared my link yet. I'm going to do it right now. Talk to you all later.